Yo, what's up, guys? I just want to make a video talking about quitting cold turkey versus tapering, um, and what's best. I get it, like quitting cold turkey is the faster way to quit, right? You're just getting it done, you're getting it over with, and getting on with your journey, right? And that's true, it's true. But, generally, whatever you're trying to quit, if you're quitting cold turkey, it's going to be more painful of a process, stronger withdrawals, stronger anxiety, whatever, um, as opposed to tapering. Tapering, you give yourself that slower opportunity to detox. So when you do fully let it go, you're not gonna go through the most extreme withdrawals. And I'll give you one example. I'll give you two examples. One with weed, one with kratom. When I was smoking weed, I was dabbing out. And if you guys don't know what dabs are, it's like wax, it's like concentrates. You know, one hit of a dab would be like almost equivalent to like smoking a joint, like just getting faded. And so before I quit weed, I got to stop smoking the dabs, start smoking regular weed again, the flower, and smoke less and less flower before quitting. Because it's 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 only gonna make it easier for me, right? And when it did come time to quit, I quit, but I still had massive withdrawals, massive anxiety, depression. Quitting weed was honestly the hardest thing for me to ever quit. It was nuts, but tapering made it a little bit easier. Now with kratom, I tried quitting kratom, on like 30 grams a day doses, and because I just got sick of it. I'm like, I'm sick of doing this. I'm sick of taking this. I'm sick of like living for this substance, thinking about it all the time on my mind, like worried about, oh, how long's it been since I dosed? It's time to dose again, or has it been long enough? Just like sneaking around. Man, I just got so sick of it. So I'm like, I'm done. I'm quitting. Flushed it down my toilet. This is before I actually quit, guys. So and I wake up the next day, go to work, and have the most crazy anxiety. I leave the job. I go drive a half hour away to get more kratom. Drive a half hour back. So I'm gone from work for an hour just to go get more kratom. Risking my job. Thankfully, no one even noticed I was gone. But with kratom, like, dude, I had to taper. Like, it was, it was just too hard to quit without tapering. It's possible. It's totally possible to quit without tapering. But I get it. Like, just want to be done. But this is a process, right? Like, I kind of like think of it like getting addicted to certain substances. Sometimes that's a process, right? Sorry for the mess, guys. I'm moving and packing, but sometimes addictions took some time to form, right? Like, I didn't just get addicted, even on weed the first time. Well, maybe I did, because I liked it so much. But like with painkillers, right? Like, I used to be able to handle painkillers like in moderation a long time ago, right? So like the opiate addiction took some time to develop. Now the opiate like freedom, being free from that, took some time too, because like just as I slowly started up with the opiates and started taking more and more and became addicted to it, think of it at the other end of the spectrum, right? Like, tapering is like the opposite of becoming addicted. It's becoming not addicted. Like, just and the hard thing about tapering, guys, is the discipline, right? Like, I know some people just feel like they don't have it in them. They can't taper. They don't have the self-control. And I get that. I get that because my plan was to taper down to like a gram, or even half a gram. But I only tapered down to like 10 grams a day and then jumped from that. And some people are like, dude, that's still high. And yeah, it is still pretty high, I guess. But that's what I did, and how I tapered is I had this digital scale. It's still sitting over here because I've been so procrastinating on cleaning it up. But here's my scale, guys. Like, see all the kratom dust still on it from over a year ago. Man, that's terrible. I just never open this drawer anymore, and it's just sitting there. So anyways, what I would do is I'd buy little pill containers. It's little round containers like this size, and weigh up doses. I'd weigh up like 2 grams, put it in there, and fill up, whatever, 5, 10 of them, and bring them with me in a backpack. So every morning I would wake up and like fill these little containers up with 2 grams, and as I tapered, I would change to 1.75 grams, and really write it down how much I'm taking every day. And I wrote it on my calendar, like how much I'm taking every day, how much I ended up taking, and I, wrote out what I want to get down to. So it became in my mind like so much work. Waking up every freaking morning and weighing up kratom on my scale, putting it in little containers. I'd spend like 15 minutes doing that or something, and like it became an inconvenience. Like it became inconvenient, and like it made me get even more motivation. Like I can't wait to be done with this, So I mean, guys, I'm just saying what worked for me. Change. If we can change our perception, right? Make like taking kratom inconvenient. Look at all the negative parts about it, and want nothing to do with it. And I know it's kind of hard to do that when you're partaking in it, when you're still dancing with it. But for real, like that's what has to happen for you to quit anything is you got to change your perception of it. You gotta not be its best friend. You got to look at that as like, dude, this thing is my enemy, fronting like it's my friend, but it is not. It's trying to take me out. It's trying to steal things out of my life. It's trying to ruin my relationships, my confidence, my like my health. Like look at it for what it is. Whatever addiction it is, whatever substance it is, and look at all the reasons. And that's another thing I did is I wrote down in a notebook all the reasons. And I was thinking in the future, like as if I already quit. I wrote down on a notebook like why I'm happy I quit taking kratom. And I wrote like my relationships have improved. I no longer have to sneak it around. Real with myself. No longer spending the money on it. Look at that, saving money on it too. I began to see and even visualize myself. I remember being at the beach, still taking kratom, but visualizing myself being free. Visualizing like the thought of me no longer taking kratom, and it just lit me up. It lit me up. It made me feel like, oh man, like I can't wait for that. And literally, like here I am over a year from taking it, and I'm so thankful for that. So thankful for that. I can't even tell you how many improvements I've seen, and I'm like growing every day, and it's so worth it, guys. It's so worth quitting. Yeah, you got to push through this temporary time of uncomfortableness, whatever. But what's on the other side is freedom, and it's beautiful, and like things that we kind of lost or haven't felt for a while, where relationships, man, start being restored, and it's awesome. It's so worth it, guys. It's so worth it. So I just want to put that out there, like quitting cold turkey versus tapering. Tapering, hands down, the best idea. And if you don't feel like you have the self-control, well, maybe look at it differently. Maybe give yourself a shot. Like, you know what? Even though all the times I've tried tapering in the past, it hasn't worked for me, I'm going to try it again. You know? Like, for real. And if you really have to quit cold turkey, I guess, you know, do what you got to do. Allow yourself a couple of days to lay around, not have many obligations, or take a couple of days off of work. But yeah, you know, the ideal situation would be to taper. So with that, guys, I'm going to get back to packing. I got to move out in like 2 days, so it's time to get more work done. I love you. God bless you. Hang loose.